1, 2. What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, y'all. I have a great show set up for you guys today. We're going to kick things off with our lead story, the Trump administration against and versus Minnesota. The weekend recap. Of course, we're going to tell you everything that you need to know about the unaliving of Alex Pretti. Also, in quick news, we're going to talk Kanye West's BS apology, Ray J TikTok, and Sydney Sweeney. As always, we're going to close out the show with lesson and question of the day. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. Come on, it's Monday, and I need y'all to wake up. And I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody, as I start going live on IG. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Kick. What is up? I hope everybody had a great weekend. As far as I could see what was going on with the weather, everybody was afraid that we were going to get snowed in and may not have any electricity. Yes, we do know that some of the weather did come down, but from what I have seen, it was not as horrible as anticipated. And I've seen some people online saying, oh, these people are always wrong, but I think it's a good thing that things were not as worse as they predicted, okay? Of course, although, yes, that the weather stayed pretty good, I think everybody kind of had a shocking weekend to see what was going on in Minnesota. Of course, ICE agents have another unaliving on their hands, and we are going to talk about that at length today. We are going to kick it off. That's how we're going to kick off our live, our lead story, okay? I have a couple of videos that I want to play for you guys. Now, I know a lot of you have seen pretty much everything that's happened over the weekend. I know a lot of you guys are pretty active on social media, but what I want to do is just give a quick recap of course, what happened with Alex. I have a little slow motion video. And I also want to kind of focus on breaking down in between Greg, Kash Patel on Fox News, Kristi Noem, and of course, what Trump is doing now Monday morning. And also I have a video from Caroline Leavitt, just to kind of give you guys a full breadth of what happened over the weekend. And then of course, in quick news, I'm going to give you guys my take of what's going on with Kanye West. A lot of people are talking about Kanye West right now. He had a big apology that he took out in the Washington Journal, and I think that I have a unique take, or I'm able to have a unique take on Kanye West's apology to Black people, Jewish people, and also him talking about being bipolar. Now, as you guys know, I am a Black man, and also some of you might know that I've been diagnosed with being bipolar. I'm very open about being a big mental health advocate. So like I said, I'm in a unique position to talk about Kanye West's apology that I'm dubbing as BS, but we'll get into that in quick news, okay? Here is the, here we're gonna put this up. Here is the thumbnail for today's show. Welcome, everybody. For those of you who are a little late joining in, hope y'all had a great weekend. Okay, let's kick the show off. I want to start off, yes, we don't know we're going to talk about Alex, but I want to give you guys a small, quick update of Renee Good, which I think is really, really important here, okay? Renee Good's unaliving ruled as a homo, which is really good. The FBI agent involved in the probe resigns. So the fact that it was her being a terrorist and it was her fault, now it is officially being ruled an unaliving, an M word, meaning that they could potentially press charges against the agent. So here is a little bit of what's going on. Although the complete autopsy report has yet to be released, a separate CBS News report noted that Tracy, the acting FBI supervisor on the Public Cooperation Squad in Minnesota field office, resigned last week, partly due to the ongoing investigation into Renee Good's unaliving. When approached for comment, the Minnesota FBI field office stated that it is FBI policy not to comment on personal matters. According to the source mentioned in the report, Tracy left the FBI in part due to the pressure to the reclassification or discontinued investigation into Renee's unaliving. What does all that mean? We all know the Trump administration, Kristi Noem, they never wanted to investigate. I told you guys that last week, and it was supposed to just be an investigation into Renee Good's wife. And everybody was in an uproar of this, including Tracy from the FBI saying, you know what, you guys are not going to allow us to look into this. I'm leaving. I don't want to work under Kash Patel or nothing. Since her leaving, her family has done a separate autopsy. There's still one going on now. And what I told you guys last week, we do know from the family's autopsy that the third shot was the shot that unalived her. And that third shot was shot from the ICE officer from literally in front of her side window when there was no threat to the car coming at him. So no matter what political side you're on, or if you want to accept the first shot, there was no need for the second and third shot. We are hoping that this will launch an investigation and that ICE officer can at least be held accountable, or minimum, at least her unaliving be classified as an M word, a homo, okay, which would be very good for all parties involved. Very, very quick update on that, okay? I promised you guys I wasn't going to let that go. Now, let's get over into this weekend's incidents that happened with Alex Pretti.
Let's break down this Alex Pretti.
Now, I'm sure, like I said when I started off, I'm sure a lot of you have seen some videos, but because we are going to talk about this today, I just want us to all be on one page. You guys know I'm coming into the comment section at the end of the show. I'll send out a link for those of you who want to come in and speak to me live. I'm very open. I'd like to see both sides, but I just want to unanimously watch one video together, get all on the same page. And like I said, we're going to go through Greg, Bonvi, Fox News, Kristi Noem, and Donald Trump, and then we could talk more about it. Here is the video that I would all like us to watch.
Let's break down this Alex Pretti shooting, shall we? This is some footage from it, and we have that officer that's right in the middle there with his hand on Pretti's gun. Okay, so he is trying to take control of the gun after they see it. Now we have the officer to the left. He is going to apparently see that gun, and he is going to reach for his gun. Now we're going to take a look at that center officer again, who's now off to the right a bit. This is where the firearm is just about to clear the holster, and that officer is taking it out of the holster himself, and then he leaves the immediate area. Now the second officer there, this is right before he takes the first shots. So we're going to let this play through a little bit, and this is where Pretti is unarmed, being shot.
On the ground.
Now we're going to take a look. This is from another angle, and that is that officer who we see taking Pretti's gun from his waistband, and the photo on the right is a photo of the gun that officials had released that they said belonged to Pretti. So we're going to see that same officer get the gun. He has it in his hand. He's moving away, and then that is when those other, when the initial shots are fired from the other officer and possibly another officer as well.
Okay. Like I said, just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. Now, I want to play a second video that has not been making a lot of rounds on social media. And I have heard from sources, I guess I'll say allegedly, this video might be played in evidence to justify Alex's unaliving. In this video, you are going to hear officers after Alex was shot. You're going to hear them saying, "Where is the gun? Where is the gun?" And I'm hearing that this might be used as self-defense for the officers. As you know, one officer yelled, "Gun, gun, gun." And that is what justified, they're going to say, this other officer taking out his gun saying, "Hey, we have to relieve this threat. He has a gun." Sorry, I'm already okay with the flags. He has a gun, so we have to unalive him. They're going to say that they didn't know where it was. They didn't know if it was in his hand or on the floor, and that was the reason why he was a threat. Listen to this. Listen carefully. You see how if you listen carefully, that you could hear that, right? So there is an officer on the ground moving Alex around saying, where is the gun? Where is the gun? We don't know where it is. This is what I'm hearing is going to be used as an excuse that every officer that was in the vicinity didn't know that that one officer in the gray jacket had pulled out Pretti's gun and moved it aside. And that was the justification to unalive Alex. Now, want to make it 100% clear. That is total BS. You didn't see it in his hand. We know that he had a phone in his hand. He didn't point it before anything. We all just watched the video. So just want to make it clear. I do not like this defense. I do not agree with it. I think it is completely BS, but I'm hearing these are one of the videos, and apparently there's more, where you could see one or two officers having no idea where the gun is, and that will be their justification to unalive Alex because one officer said gun, some of the officers didn't know where it was, justified thinking that he is a threat. Now, this goes back to training, and we keep on hearing about this while we talk about ICE agents. Most officers don't get to go out on the field until after 6 months of training. These ICE officers are getting 47 days minimum, and the 47 days is because Donald Trump is the 47th president. And I literally heard that on Fox and on CNN. So it sounds like it's crazy, but it's true. This is the problem. This is why I do not think that it's a good defense, saying we didn't know where the gun was. So just wanted to play that to give you guys a little bit of a different take on what you might see out there. Now, here is a horrible, horrible video from Greg Bravino, which is the lead ICE agent in the U.S. stationed in Minnesota right now, hoping that this guy gets fired. Listen to the deflection.
Disputing the video, but that's what happened. Sir, I think you can see the screen.
ICE General Greg Bavino was just on CNN with Dana Bash gaslighting us. She asked him, you're disputing the video of the murder of Alex Pretti? And he literally says, yes, we're disputing the video. Please, somebody send this to Webster Dictionary. We now officially have a video to define what gaslighting is. Take a look.
And I know you can see it there, and I want to ask you about what you're seeing, because multiple angles of this incident show him holding up a cell phone and recording it, not a gun. Did he at any point pull out his weapon?
Dana, good morning, and thanks for having me.
Listen to this.
The weapon, and we do know that the suspect did bring a weapon, a loaded 9mm high-capacity handgun to a riot. We do know that. As far as what happened in that intervening moment with the video that you just showed, that's going to come to light through the investigation. That's being investigated, and those facts and those questions will be answered soon enough.
You can see a screenshot of an agent in a green jacket approach Pretti, and then he appeared to take a gun away. When the agent took the gun away, which seems as though it was Pretti's gun, that happened before Pretti was shot. Why was an unarmed man shot multiple times by law enforcement, by your Border Patrol agents?
Listen now.
Dana, you don't know he was unarmed. I don't know he was unarmed. That's freeze frame adjudication of a crime scene via a photo. That's why we have investigators. That's why we have an investigation that is.
You see the other video, how I told you before? We didn't know. How do you know?
Is going to answer those questions. How many shots were fired? Who fired shots? Where was the guns? Where were the guns located? All those questions are going to be answered.
I think you can see the screen.
Get him, Dana. Get him.
We're not going to adjudicate that here on TV in one freeze frame there.
Okay. It's not a freeze frame. We're showing a video of one of your agents taking the gun away, and that happened before Pretti was shot.
We don't know that agent was taking any gun away. That could have been the agent's, because we don't know that. The facts are going to come to light.
So you're disputing the video, that's what happened?
With an investigation. That's why we investigate.
Well, with respect, you say that's why we investigate, but you're also drawing other conclusions that sort of fly in the face of waiting for an investigation.
We'll talk more about this on the... Guys, this is a federal officer literally saying, what I see there on video is not really what I see. That's literally what he just said in plain English. And if you think that is bad, listen to Kash Patel on Fox News. And I want to applaud Fox News because Fox News challenged Kash Patel. And when Fox News challenges Donald Trump, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, you know things are bad. Listen to this.
What can you tell us?
Great to be with you, Maria. And look, Secretary Noem stated it perfectly. You do not get to attack law enforcement officials in this country without any repercussions. You do not get to do that in Minnesota, LA, or anywhere else. And the interagency is leading the charge out there. We've already arrested with the interagency those that violated the FACE Act and impeded a peaceful prayer in church. We've already just last night arrested 4 more individuals involved in the damage of government property that we saw the videos of online. We've arrested other individuals who've made threats.
Excuse me. She asked you about Alex. Like, why are you telling us about these people in the church and all of this stuff? And by the way, those 2 women have been released. FYI.
Threats to law enforcement online. So we are not messing around. It doesn't have to be
blah,
in person.
Blah, blah.
If you threaten law enforcement officials or civilians, we are going to come find you. Okay. And as for this latest shooting, yes, DHS and HSI are the lead, and the FBI is processing the physical evidence. So we're in possession of the firearm, which is going to go to our laboratory. But as Secretary Noem said, no one who wants to be peaceful shows up at a protest with a firearm that is loaded with 2 full magazines.
I just want to interrupt this 2 seconds, please, sir. I know you guys hate sometimes when I interrupt videos. Can I just put this in your head for 1 second? This is the United States of America. It's in the Constitution with the right to bear arms. People go to the grocery store with guns. They go to Starbucks with guns. They go to eat with guns. They go shopping with guns. Open carry states, concealed states. To say that, oh, you could carry a gun everywhere you want to, but don't carry it to a protest? Does that make any sense to any American? It is literally ridiculous, man. Sorry.
That is not a peaceful protest, and you do not get to touch law enforcement. You do that anywhere, this FBI is going to be leading the charge to arrest those.
But how was he threatening Border Patrol? You've collected the evidence, you said, right? You have the handgun in your possession?
That's right.
And how was he using that handgun in terms of threatening Border Patrol? What was the threat? He had his camera, right? He was filming it.
Good job.
That's something that I will let the DHS and the prosecutors, because they are the ones.
We're going to pause. Listen. Hold on.
In terms of threatening Border Patrol. What was the threat? He had his camera, right? He was filming it.
That's something that I will let the DHS and the prosecutors, because they are the ones investigating that case. I don't want to stylize that evidence, but I trust the men and women on the ground who are trained professionals to only use it when it's absolutely necessary. And I trust Secretary Noem's leadership and DHS.
Whatever, bro. That is just really ridiculous. I love how Fox tripped him up. I love how he had to pause. He had his camera out. Where's the threat? We're going to look into that. Like, this is really ridiculous how they're just lying into our faces. Okay, next video I want to play for you guys is both Greg, the general of ICE, Greg Bavino, and Kristi Noem. And this is a side-by-side video. Listen to the talking points, listen to the speeches, and hear how exact they are. Now, obviously, listen to the fact of how much they're lying, but just listen to hear exactly the same words. This literally comes out from one MAGA speechwriter. Okay, guys, there was an unaliving. Say this. Take a listen.
Approached U.S. Border Patrol agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun.
Can the MAGA speechwriters at least write different speeches so when they come on stage, they could sound a little bit more authentic? Could we at least try that?
The agents attempted to disarm the individual, but he violently resisted.
It's like literally like a choir, like like it's ridiculous.
Fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers, a Border Patrol agent fired defensive shots.
Do you hear that? Lies, lies, lies. We have proof. We have proof.
This individual went and impeded their law enforcement operations, attacked those officers, had a weapon on him, and dozens of rounds of ammunition, wishing to inflict harm on these officers, coming brandishing like that and impeding their work that they were doing.
These statements are not about facts. Any expert will tell you this.
Okay, so that is... I think we covered it, right? Greg, Christie, and Kash Patel. All horrible, okay? They should be ashamed of themselves. Now, I'm going to play a video here for you that came out last night. And I've been trying to think of a word other than silver lining because somebody got unalive, like somebody lost their life. And I don't think there's any silver lining. But as a result, how about just say that? As a result of Alex Pretti's unaliving, it seems as though Donald Trump might be shifting his tone, might be shifting his rhetoric, might be looking, at people as at his administration and backtracking. And I say that with such resistance because I do not trust Donald Trump to backtrack ever. This is not a tariff thing, the taco and the stock market, because he's doing that on purpose because he wants to like a double dip. That's insider trading. When it comes to things like this, I'm surprised. Now, I'm going to play a report that happened yesterday where it's saying that that he's thinking about backing down. And then I'm going to play something from Caroline Levitt, okay? So this is last night. Listen carefully. Trump may be backing down.
Now, meanwhile, Donald Trump did signal that he may be removing ICE officials at some point soon.
It unfortunately took the death of 2 innocent American citizens, but it looks like Trump might consider removing ICE agents and Kristi Noem might be fired.
It appears as though the Trump administration is beginning to throw Kristi Noem under the bus, and here's what you need to know. Fox News is now reporting that there are several people senior in the Department of Homeland Security who have grown uneasy and frustrated with the claims made by Noem and other DHS officials publicly, specifically over the fact that Noem and others started to say that Alex Pretti tried to commit a massacre when there's no evidence to suggest that was even a thought. They say that morale within the Department of Homeland Security is tanking right now. That messaging from Noem and others has been, quote, catastrophic. Now, meanwhile, Donald Trump told the Wall Street Journal that his administration is reviewing every aspect of the shooting, but yet claimed that ICE agents in Minneapolis have been doing a phenomenal job thus far, despite the horrific murders of Renee Good and Alex Pretti, but did signal that he may be removing ICE officials at some point soon.
I'll believe it when I see it. We'll talk about. Okay, so, classic Donald Trump. ICE has been doing good, except for this, which is good for him to say that. It's opposite what Kash Patel, Greg, and Kristi Noem said. So that's Trump throwing parts of his administration under the bus. He didn't say that he was radical. He didn't say anything. He said, I want to wait for the investigation. That's what he told the Wall Street Journal. So let's, I can't believe I'm saying this, but let's give him a 1% amount of credit for that. Not throwing anybody under the bus. Now, not throwing Alex under the bus and throwing his own people. Okay, 1% credit. Now, that was last night that report came out. Then I wake up today, getting ready to do the show, whatever, and then I hear this from Caroline Levitt, which is back to typical rhetoric, not coming out of Donald Trump's mouth, but she is the spokesperson for Donald Trump. Listen to what she says about the incident and what happened over the weekend. Listen carefully and listen to what she says about guns. Donald Trump is going to lose the NRA. He's going to lose MAGA. He's going to lose Republicans. They literally are saying that if you are an American and you're carrying a gun, you should be prepared for a heightened risk from law enforcement. What? The United States of America is telling its citizens about something that's in the Constitution? Yo, this is big even for Donald Trump. Take a listen to this.
Knows that when you
oh, I'm sorry. Let me remove this. Sorry.
Weapon, you are gun owner knows that when you are carrying a weapon, you are raising the assumption of risk and risk of force being used against you.
Donald Trump has officially lost MAGA and the Republicans. Any gun owner could be shot by law enforcement. Now you're going after Americans' constitutional right to bear arms? Nah, it's over.
And that's unfortunately what took place on Saturday.
And if that wasn't bad enough, now they are officially saying from the White House that Pretti was killed because he was inciting violence. Or was he actually protecting a woman on the street? Y'all tell me.
This is precisely what unfolded in Minneapolis on Saturday morning.
Listen.
Obstructing federal law enforcement and inciting violence against officers is wrong and illegal.
What?
This used to be a universally accepted position in the United States. Amid the hysteria, we must remember how we got here to this moment today and what this Democrat opposition is about.
Mark this day on your calendar, January 26th. All right, so that was, I think, 2 o'clock today. And as I predicted, immense backlash, Republicans, MAGA, etc. Literally 1 hour before I went live today, I have heard that Donald Trump got on the phone with Tim Walz and they feel like they should both work together. Donald Trump said it was a very productive meeting and they want to work together to bring down the temperature. And Donald Trump is considering moving some ICE agents out of Minnesota. Again, I just showed you in the past 24 hours how it was wishy-washy. We shall see. I am live right now. I cannot check. Maybe I'll check right before I sign off. But we have potentially made some headway in Minnesota. And literally 5 minutes before I got on here, I put a quick reel out on Instagram and on all my socials saying, I love every single state in the United States of America, but honestly, this past week, Minnesota has my entire heart. The most resilient, fearless, dedicated, just soldiers and warriors in Minnesota. Like, they are not letting up. Just think about how many people would be like, yo, this happened to Renee. Okay, we still went out and fight. Saw what happened to Alex. All right, you know what? I'm not going out this weekend. No. More people are out. You could go check on my Instagram right now. More people. They have the biggest protest today. They said that all of Minnesota is out protesting. At night, they found a hotel where ICE agents were, and they would not let the ICE agents rest or sleep. They're banging down doors. They are not stopping. Shout out to Minnesota. You guys probably are going to win this Donald Trump MAGA ICE battle. I feel like in my heart, Donald Trump was like, oh, where could we try this? Should we try this? No, let's not try LA. Let's not try New York. Let's not try Detroit. They were kind of, they're like, oh, let's just try Minnesota. Tim Walz is there. Yo, Tim is soft. Yo, F-A-F-O. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. I think we got everything done, right? We did everything here. Oh, you know what? One thing that I want to close out on. And then we'll get to quick stories, quick news. I would like to say, I want to give a shout out to the people in the comment section. Let me give a little air horn. I want to give a shout out to the people in the comment section who are MAGA supporters, who are Republicans, who are Trump administration supporters, and who are Donald Trump supporters. The ones who are saying, I voted for Trump, I backed Trump, but this is wrong. Shout out to you. Shout out one more time to you. You can both love your party, you could love policies, and you can also say that they are wrong. With George Floyd, there was still a lot of, what was he doing prior? I think that he was on DRUGs, or he was this, or why was it? I have been covering things like this for a while now on this show. I would say this Alex Pretti situation is pretty much unanimously every person in the comment section saying that this is wrong. Of course, there's always going to be one or two idiots, but unanimously, I would say 96, 97% of people, except for the people in the Trump administration, Greg, Kash Patel, Kristi Noem, people in the comment section are saying this is wrong, and they're calling out Donald Trump and his administration. Shout out to you guys for keeping it real. All right. Okay. That is it for my lead stories. I will be coming. I see the comments are blowing up. I'm going to be coming to the comment sections too. Let me just get to quick news very quickly. We're going to talk about Kanye West. We're going to talk about Ray J. We're going to talk about TikTok. We're going to talk about Sydney Sweeney possibly facing charges. And then we have a lesson of the day and question of the day. All right. Let's go over to quick news. I'm very excited to talk about Mr. West. Okay. Kanye. A lot of you have been asking me what my thoughts are with Kanye West. Like I started off this show, I feel like I'm in a very unique position to talk about this. I don't feel like there's many content creators or even people in the news, even on legacy media, that could tell you this from the perspective of a Black person and somebody who suffers from mental health and bipolar, which is what Kanye West is talking about in his letter of apology. You'll see on my screen here, Kanye West issues a formal apology to the Black and Jewish community in new letter. Now, Kanye West took out this letter in the Washington Journal. Now, for those of you who are my daily listeners, you know that I have gotten to a point where I refuse to talk about Kanye West. And for the simple fact that I have gone out to say pretty much for the past year that Kanye West may or may not have mental health issues. He may or may not have bipolar. Because himself, he jumps around saying that he has bipolar. He put out an album saying, I'm bipolar and I love it. Then he said he's not bipolar. He said he's autistic because that was the trendy thing because Elon Musk said he was autistic. Then he came back and said that none of it was true. And it all happens around when Kanye West has to sell something. And that is why I decided to stop talking about him, because I knew that he is using mental health and bipolar as an excuse to do wild and crazy things, get viral, get into the algorithm, and try to sell us something. And as a content creator, unfortunately, my job is to talk about viral things, whether they're political or entertainment. And even though I try to ignore things, something like this, I don't want to talk about it, but I feel like it's still my job and I have to. So this is the reason why I am not accepting Kanye West's apology. And I understand that that might be not a popular opinion. I know there's already a lot of people that are saying that they're forgiving him, that this is a nice letter, this is a great start. I told you guys last week that Kim Kardashian said that he is now with North and the kids a little bit more. They spent Christmas together and they feel like he's doing better. But again, like I said, for somebody who has lived with mental health issues and have been to therapy weekly, I go on stages across the world speaking. I work with Charlemagne and Dr. Alfie for 3 years in a row on probably one of the biggest mental health conferences in the world. I feel like I'm in a unique place where I could say, I don't accept your apology. Now, I'm not going to read the letter, but I'm going to read a part of it just to give you guys context. And then I'm going to tell you the part that really bothers me, okay? He says here, sorry, hold on. He starts off by saying, 25 years ago, I was in a car accident that broke my jaw and caused injury to the right frontal lobe of my brain. Right away, he's trying to erase the past 25 years. Already that I don't like that. At the time, the focus was on the visible damage, the fracture, the swelling, and the immediate physical trauma. The deeper injury, the one inside my skull, went unnoticed. Comprehensive scans were not done, neurological exams were limited, and the possibility of a frontal lobe injury was never raised. It wasn't properly diagnosed until 2023. The medical oversight caused severe damage to my mental health and led to my bipolar type 1 diagnosis. Bipolar disorder comes with its own defense system, denial. When you are manic, you don't think you're sick. You think everybody else is overreacting. You feel you've seen the world more clearly than ever, when in reality, you're losing grip entirely. The scariest thing about bipolar is its perspective. It is when it tells you you do not need help, it makes you blind, but convinced you have insight. You feel powerful, certain, unstoppable. The idea that you might not need help is almost impossible to accept. I'm going to stop there. He goes on to apologize to the Jewish community first. Then he says, to the Black community, which held me down through all the highs and lows and the darkest of my times. The Black community is unquestionably the foundation of who I am, and I am sorry to who I have let down. And he goes on by talking. Every time Kanye West has a manic episode, he is selling us something. And that is not how manic episodes and bipolar works. I liken bipolar or mental health to cancer. It could flare up or come up at any time. I have yet to see or hear about a manic episode when an album or a shoe or a sock or a Super Bowl is coming out. This is why, for me, I have an issue. And my second issue, and the bigger issue to me, is I did not see an apology to the mental health community, which I am a proud member of. And I've always said this. Kanye West is very close to Charlemagne. Charlemagne has a nonprofit called the Mental Wealth Alliance, headed up by my friend and sister, Dr. Breland Noble Alfie, Dr. Alfie, who is one of the best therapists and psychologists in the United States of America. Joe Biden was going to have her be America's doctor. Kanye West has Charlemagne and Dr. Alfie in his back pocket. He has never come to a mental health conference. I've never seen him give back. And that is a part of mental health. I have never seen him give back. I've only seen him use mental health. I wrote a book, my first book, my whole second book is about mental health, about me being diagnosed, me leaving therapy, not believing it, going back, how it affected me. I talk about my issues with it and its flare-ups and coming and going. Kanye West has never given back to the community. And in this letter, he never apologized to the community. So that's why, for me, I know that for the past 3 months that Kanye West has been trying to release his album Bully, and he cannot get it off the ground. I know that Kanye West lost billions of dollars with Adidas. Y'all know that I had a national sneaker boutique. All right. I carried Kanye West's shoes when he was with Nike. I was one of 2 stores in Canada to have all the colorways. I was with Kanye and Adidas through his first Adidas almost to his last. Okay. So I have been tied to Kanye West and what he's been doing for the past 10 years. So I know what is going on. And if this is true, I'm going to be very, very happy to come out here and say I was wrong. But I do not believe this. I think that he wants to sell his album Bully. I think that he has gone not broke, but I feel like he is cash strapped. And I feel like this is a ploy to get us back on the bandwagon, because his viral crazy antics don't make him viral anymore and don't bring him money anymore. So when that doesn't work, he comes back and now is going to say, I apologize. It's all because I was bipolar. And that is not any sort of help to the mental health community. Like I said, I hope he proves me wrong. Okay. So that's my 2 cents with Kanye. Let's go over to Ray J. Now, I'm pretty sure we talked about this last week, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. Ray J was in the hospital. He had some inflammation with his heart, and he put out a little bit of a release. And I said, listen, I called some people in LA, and I heard that everything is true. People like me and a few other people were like, we know that, Ray J likes to troll a lot. So we're just hoping that, he wasn't using this incident to kind of troll. Ray J has put out a video today saying that he's doing better and his heart is only working at 25%. Just wanted to play it for you guys. You guys decide on your own. What do you think?
All right. What's up, everybody? It's Ray J.
That's over with.
We're live right now. We're coming off of a crazy run. I want to thank everybody for praying for me. I was in the hospital. My heart's only beating like 25%, but as long as I stay focused and stay on the right path, then everything will be all right. So thank you for all your prayers. I'm going to burp right now, and I'm going to say, excuse me.
All right. I don't know why you got to put the burp in there. That end makes me feel so a little trollish, but what can I say, man? That's Ray, right? So anyway, shout out to Ray. Ray's a good dude, and I hope he is well. Just want to give you guys that quick update. Let's go to another thing that was going on over the weekend that made I think it was Alex, the weather, and third was TikTok. TikTok experiencing widespread outage just days after reaching deal with US to avoid a ban. TikTok is experiencing widespread outage as login issues as of January 25th, 2026, following the finalization of the deal to form a new U.S. entity, the TikTok U.S. Joint Venture LLC. The disruption affects users globally and included failures in posting and loading videos. Reports indicate potential server issues. So some people are like, maybe it was the weather, maybe it was the, something else that was going on. I don't know, but I have a couple of content creator friends. I've reached out to a few of them. I think I would say maybe half were like, my TikTok is messed up. The other half was like, I don't know what people are talking about. My TikTok is working fine. Now, I'm more active on Instagram, but I have been posting my reels on TikTok. My TikTok has been working fine. So I don't necessarily think, from the quick research that I've done, I don't think this is like, the new US version is horrible. I think there's maybe a couple of things that, were just maybe going on. Maybe they're testing things. You guys know how electronics are. So I think it was just a little test of what's going on. I don't think it's anything to go too crazy about, but of course, we'll keep you guys up to date and let you know what's going on with TikTok. All right, now our last thing in quick news. I wanted to put this on Instagram, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. Sweeney might be going to jail. Sweeney facing possible vandalism charges on Hollywood sign. Look what she did. I'm actually a little jealous because I was in LA, I think in August, and I was trying to get up to the Hollywood sign as close as I can. I used to live in LA. Well, not used to. I lived in LA for like a summer or a couple of months. And I've always wanted to get up to the actual sign. And even in August here, I was just there and I tried to park like as close as I can. And I remember even getting a ticket. I think it was like $100 and something bucks. But yeah, I'm yet to get to the sign. I'm jealous. Listen.
Sick.
This is apparently in the H. And there she has a bunch of bras. So apparently she's got it in the H, and now she's gonna put it like at the front and like loop it around.
I feel like.
Let's see if we can get a little. There we go. What are you doing, Sydney? Anyways, that's the video of the escapade. Sweeney could face possible vandalism charges after climbing the Hollywood sign and hanging bras across it. There was no permission granted to do this as required. We'll see. I don't think there's any like big repercussions. I think maybe she just might get a fine or something. But that is it on Sweeney. Okay. Excuse me. I just swallowed air there. That was weird. Okay. We are going to go to lesson of the day. There's no social discussion. We're going to go to lesson of the day. Today's lesson of the day is, ladies, you should look for a man that has hit rock bottom and that is broken. Let me tell you why, or I have a video to tell you why, and then we'll discuss it a little bit after. Excuse me. And then we're going to go to question of the day. Question of the day is, do you forgive Kanye West for his latest apology? And then I will come over to comment and speak with you guys. All right, let's go over to lesson of the day right now. Okay, all right. Before we get into lesson of the day, y'all know I have a very important question for y'all. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Hold on, that's an indirect question. Let me answer that for you. Yes, they are, all of them, if you're not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. Go to my sponsor below, aura.com/Trent Out Loud, to get your free 14-day trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your cell phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data, and they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. This is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and out louders. Aura takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing your information off of these sites and keeping it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. You may already have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like locking your front door and keeping your back door open. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts for credit card or banking information. You also get a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager. They also have US-based round-the-clock customer service. Also, in the event that anything should ever go wrong, Aura also includes, not offers, but includes a $5 million identity theft insurance protection package. Go to my sponsor below, Aura.com, for your free trial today. Also, y'all know I have the QR code for you right here. Just take out your phones and your camera. Take out your QR code right now. Listen, if you do anything online, anytime your name is entered anywhere, your credit card information, phone number, address, it could be sold in the spirit of marketing. It's legal. It should be illegal, but we have enough stuff to worry about right now in the world. That's why it's good for Aura, okay? Your information is sold off for marketing purposes. That is why you get text messages from people you've never given your phone number to, phone calls, emails with these weird links. Aura removes all your information offline absolutely free with the link below, okay? Now, second thing before we get into lesson of the day, a lot of you guys have always, not always, but a lot of you guys have DM'd or send me emails saying, hey, do you have a PayPal or Venmo? We always watch the show every day. We want to give back. The best way to give back to the show is while we're live, you can give us a super chat, or after the video has been posted, you can give us a super thanks. Why I love super thanks over PayPal or Venmo is that it keeps us connected. While you decide what you want to give back to the show, you also could erase the thanks and put whatever message you want, and it sends me a notification. It's like sending me a text message. I'll heart it, and I'll comment right back to you, and I'll read it on the next day's show. Here is YouTube explaining it better than I can.
Buy a super thanks by clicking the thanks button under your video. There are multiple price points a viewer can purchase that each have their own special one-time animation. As an added bonus, viewers will get to post a distinct, colorful comment in your video's comment section.
All right, and also before we go, just to remind you guys to sign up for the Out Loud membership here. You'll see, if you're on YouTube, you'll see a join button above me, or you will see a membership tab. And also, like I said at the top of the show, do not forget to check us out weekdays from, I can put this on the side here, weekdays from Monday to Friday. We are always streaming live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, Kick, and YouTube, and also Instagram. Shout out to Instagram. I think that's it. We covered everything, right? Perfect. Okay, I'm really excited about this lesson today. You guys know I like this. All right, this is here for the ladies, all right? I know I have like a 75, or I think it's like 78% women subscribers. So I wanted to really talk to the ladies here from a male perspective. And this video here really spoke to me personally. It's talking about men that have gone through hardships in their life and how beneficial those hard times have been for us. And I have had two really, really big lows in my life. Once I filed for bankruptcy. I was homeless. I was literally like showering at the YMCA. And second time was 5 or 6 years ago when I talk about this in my second book, How Sneakers Ruined My Life. I was days away from bankruptcy, about to lose my house, lose everything, and literally like be out on the street. And I was able to recover from it. And those really, really dark, deep points in my life made me the person I am today. And I love sharing that in my book. I love talking with other men about it. And I always say this, I have learned more about business and myself in the low times than in the high times. Take a listen to this video.
The most dangerous man you will ever meet is the one who healed alone. I'm not talking about violence, rage, or chaos. I'm talking about a man who has been shattered by life, and then chose to rebuild himself piece by piece with his own hands. This is the man who walked through experiences that stripped him down to nothing, who faced truths that most people spend their whole life avoiding. He saw the world without the fillers, without the illusions, without the comforting lies that protect the weak from reality. He's the man who hit his rock bottom hard enough to leave him unrecognizable and still found the strength to rise anyway. He's the one who discovered the brutal truth most people never learn. When everything falls apart, when everyone disappears, when the world goes silent, the only person who you can never abandon is himself. And that changes a man, that reshapes him, that hardens him in all the right places. A man who has faced his darkest night alone develops a level of clarity and self-trust that can't be taught. You learn that just by doing it. He doesn't fear being alone. He understands its value. He doesn't seek approval. He outgrew the need for it. He does not chase people. He knows that anybody that is meant to stay will stay without force. When a man has been broken and rebuilt, his power stops coming from who stands beside him and starts coming from who he became when nobody else did. That's why he's dangerous. Not to people, but to anything or anyone that tries to take him back to where he used to be. He's not fragile. He is not lost. He is not emotionally shut down. He is extremely intentional. He is unshakably self-reliant, and that is amazing. It's an amazing quality to have. A man like that does not crumble under pressure. He becomes that pressure and leans into that pressure because it doesn't scare him. If you are truly that man, I salute you, because carrying that is not light, and you still show up every single day. That deserves respect. Keep going. What you're doing matters more than you know. I'm proud of you.
Woo! Yo, shout out to the men out there. Yo, shout out to the men. Hello? Shout out to the men who made it, yo. Shout out to the guys out there who made it. Yo, sometimes life is tough. It's hard, man. Woo! But when you make it through that other side, man, I'm untouchable, yo. I'm untouchable. Like, I agree with everything she said there. So, ladies, you might meet a man that is about to go through it. You might meet a man that is in the middle of it, or you might meet a man that has come out of it. Take a second and just look at that man. And I'm telling you, if you're with somebody who's about to, or in it, or just came out of it, just trust me, stick by them. And you'll get a whole 100% real man by your side. So I wanted to shout out to my guys who have made it and the women who see the beauty in the struggle. Okay, so that was today's lesson of the day. Let's go over now quickly to question of the day. It's I already asked it already, but I'm gonna just get some opinions online, and then we'll go to comments because I see the comments are blowing up. Okay, so today's question of the day is, do you forgive Kanye West after his latest apology? All right, quickly said, I love Kanye, but I'm a be all right. Social media could never make me hate him. Another person said yes. Another person said, my fellow Gemini, I always love Kanye. Another person said yes. Yay, of course. Another person said he apologized every 3 to 5 business days. He was forgiven since day one. There's nothing to forgive. He's my guy. Yes, that's Donna's boy. Her legacy earns his grace. Didn't even realize Kanye did anything wrong. Y'all forgive anybody else. Why not forgive Ye? Yes. If you can forgive okay, I'm not going to say that. Another person gave like a smirk emoji. I was never mad at Ye. Actually, I do. Yup. If you're a true fan, you never turned your back on him. Yes. I was never on the cancel train. Love and light Kanye. Yup. So a lot of people have forgiven him. The one thing that I will say, to be fair, is I was watching The Breakfast Club today, and Charlemagne said the reason why he feels like this is true is because of the reports that we heard from Kim while she was on Chloe's podcast, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I trust Shar. Shar is dedicated time, resources, and energy to mental health and understands it almost better than anybody else I know. And if he is trusting it, it still doesn't make me trust it, but it gives me a little bit of a silver lining that maybe somebody who I trust in the mental health space is thinking that this is true. And like I said, I think it is BS. I think it is to try to sell his album, but I hope Charlemagne is right, and I hope I am wrong. Because just like how I spoke about there, a healed man, if this was really true and he's healed, then he is going to be a force, and he's going to be an advocate for mental health to show what you can become when you get a handle on things and you do the appropriate steps. So I hope I am wrong. Okay. All right. Let me go over to the comment section now. I'm really excited. Got a lot of comments going on here. All right. Hold on. Let me take this off. A round of applause for today's show for all y'all who hung in there. We had a good show today. Round of applause, yo. Thank you. Yo, we had a lot of people up in here today. Jeez, I think this was probably like our highest that we got to, man. We got to like a lot of people. And this is probably our most comments. All right, because we have a lot of comments, I know you guys like to talk amongst yourselves, so I might skip some of the, hey, how you doing? But there is Morgan, what up, Morgan? Sorry, I mean that when you guys say hi to each other, I might skip. I'll never skip you guys saying hi to me. Hey, Nollins is on Twitch. What up? Nollins in the building. Renee says good evening. What up, Renee? Danielle, hi, Trent. Danielle from Ohio. Y'all know your real out louder will tell me how to spell your name. Love y'all. Danielle. Yo, Renee, I'm sitting on 16s. What up? Crystal, what up? Trent and the Out Louders, let's go. Bam. Teresa, hey, Out Louders. Great job, Trent. Your reporting is exceptionally great. Hand clap. Thank you very much, Teresa. Howdy, Trent. Kate Thomas, it's Katie from West London. What up? UK in the building. Appreciate you sharing your health issues and how you kept it moving in spite of it. Thank you very much, Teresa. Hey, Mystery from UK on Twitch. Hello, Trent. She FAMO streaming from UK. Danielle says, everybody hit that like and subscribe button. Trent is awesome. Thank you, Danielle. Emma says, out loud, I hope everybody made it safe through the storm. Leap says, why are these people so R-word? Mystery said, glad you made it on tonight with all that snow. Ron said, I don't know what this is. Scott says there are 7. Okay, we're not going to say that. Not Renee. God, wow, that's horrible. I'm not going to read that. Somebody said, Ron, you are correct. All right, we got some trolls up in here. Okay, I think you guys are right. I think we're gonna have to get some moderators in this chat soon. Done. No, we're gonna get back to our people. Here we go. There you go. There's Teresa. Video footage of ICE and their wrongdoing, not a lie. Here we go. My heart goes out to the civilians of Minnesota. You shouldn't. Okay, we're not going to say that. You know what? Let me ask this person something. I'm not sure of your name here, but you shouldn't bring a gun to a protest. But you should bring a gun to Starbucks. You should bring a gun to the grocery store. You should bring a gun to the gas station. You should bring a gun everywhere with you, but not when you're going to a protest. Why, sir? I would really like to know. I want somebody to answer me that. Why? What is the reason? This is the United States of America. You have a constitutional right to open carry or even conceal carry, and it doesn't say in the Constitution that you can't bring it when you're going to protest. And protesting is the First Amendment right, the right for free speech. So you don't make no sense. You call yourself an American, but you don't believe in the Constitution. It makes no sense. That's a troll. Texas deports way more illegal aliens in Minnesota with no problem. Walsh. Okay, it's your opinion. They need to go home and let ICE do their jobs. Hey, listen, that I could take. If that's your opinion, that's your opinion. Yeah, the shooting part doesn't matter. What matters is the dip when out of state harassing cops trying to arrest. Okay, I'm not going to read that. Wayne said Snowflake brought a gun to a riot versus feds. He wanted all that smoke and got it. The end. Hey, listen, Wayne, you have a right to your own opinion, and thank you for your comment. But I would really like to. I'll even send out a link for you to come on and talk with me live, because you don't make any sense. He didn't have his gun out brandishing. He didn't have it pointed at anybody. He just had it on himself, on his person, which is a constitutional right. Obama, somebody wrote here. Obama deported more illegals than any president in history. No one protested. It's Simon, it's not the deportation, it's the way they're doing the deportation. Somebody said correct. Always say allegedly. Gotta act quick to save lives. Thank you for reporting on this. It was an important eye-opener. Thank you very much, smart, talented woman. That was the person's name, by the way. Xavier, I think they need to do time behind bars. Totally agree. Bruce said protesting, being loud and obnoxious is one thing. Obstructing and hindering is another. You get what the F you get. Okay, I want to, and I never said that Alex or even the woman, if you're impeding law enforcement, if you're getting in their face, yes, but when is that a sentence to be unalived? And if you watch Alex's whole thing, he was in the street, he had his phone out and he was yelling. Again, there is nothing wrong with that. That is the law. You're allowed to film. You have to keep a safe distance. You could yell, you can scream. It's the First Amendment. I just don't understand how these people saying these comments are the people who are the most Republican, the most constitutional people. But when it doesn't work out for them, then no, you can't be yelling. You could do whatever you want as an American. That's the beauty of America. He did not lay a hand on them. Alex did not lay a hand on him. They pepper sprayed him. He was so confused that he actually started grabbing the woman that he was trying to protect. And because of that, he gets unalived because he had a gun on him, which again is his constitutional right. You make no sense. What is the real motive behind the hostile display in Minnesota? Teresa said that. Scott said, you would be shaking if you were in the police shoes when everybody has guns and you can be unalived in 1 second. Well, that is the part of the job. That's part of law enforcement. And again, if you have a problem with Americans being able to carry guns, then that's a constitutional issue. If you're permitted, you cannot say you have a permit to carry a gun concealed or open carry and then be like, oh, you can't do it to a protest because the police are going to be shaking in their boots. What are you talking about? And Scott, I really just would love to have this discussion. I hope you stick around and I hope you're here. Somebody said, Bruce, you are correct. Scott said, you would never. Okay, I don't know what that person is saying. This will continue as long as there's violent protests. I didn't see any violent protests, Mark. Kate says, so the officer that took the gun, where did he go when he took it? Great question. Great question. Teresa said, what 47 days is wild? 1000%. Krista said, oh my gosh, exactly. It doesn't matter if they didn't know where the gun is. He never even tried to reach for his gun. Totally agree with you, Crystal. Southern said, I'm sorry, but they will get the benefit of the doubt. Well, even Donald Trump said there's an investigation. So In and Out said, do stupid things, win stupid prizes. Well, Alex did not do any stupid things, so he shouldn't win any stupid prizes. You make no sense. ICE and the paid insurrectioners, show me proof. Y'all like to talk things. Where's the proof? Show me proof that Alex was a paid insurrectioner. Just want to know. And even if he was, again, that would be legal. You cannot talk about somebody doing something that's not illegal, because we are talking about what ICE agents that did that's illegal. So bring law to me. Amount of illegal immigrations is amazing. All right, Scott, again, why are you talking about this? Alex was an American citizen. Jay Bird said, illegal entry into the United States is a federal misdemeanor or felony, depending on previous violations, making it a criminal act under 8 USC. You are 100%, but what is your point? Teresa said, Trent looks like Prince with his hair down. Thank you, Teresa. I'll take that as a compliment. Scott says, imagine if millions went to China. I don't know what you mean by that. Democrats promote the violence. All right, show me where you guys can say stuff, and I'm really happy that you're here, but can you show me proof? I would like to know that. Paul said no further questions. Pierre said GOP was allowed to F up US for decades. Now in Trump, they find a tool to grab the handle. Trump should not have been allowed to run, period. Next person, Leap says, I feel no sympathy for these idiots. Well, that's a you problem. Tracy said he was there. He got shot. He didn't need to be there. So, Tracy, you're saying that an American doesn't have a right to protest. An American does not have a right to go in the street and film and scream at ICE officers. You're telling me that that's not allowed. I would like for that clarification, please. Chris said, these are the excuses they make when a black man gets shot by cops. Bird says, the minute you get involved in an illegal act, your concealed carry permit is revoked. What? What are you saying? What are you talking about? What did he do that was an illegal act? I would really like to know. What is the illegal act that Alex Pretti did? Please tell me. Because he was not impeding anything. And by the way, an illegal act is not determined by a police officer. An illegal act is determined by a judge. So the cops can arrest him for impeding. They got to bring him to jail. They got to book him. They got to bring him in front of a judge because, again, this is United States of America. There's a certain thing called due process. And a judge and or a jury will decide if you're guilty or not guilty. And then if you're found guilty, then your license is revoked. Your permit is revoked. Like, I just don't understand. ICE is all of a sudden judge, jury, and executioner. Like, what are you guys saying? You make no sense. Film says he looks like he's always about to cry. I don't know who you're talking about. Laugh out loud. You called it Trent gaslighting. 100%. That's what 100% they're doing. They're gaslighting us. James said you need to have an investigation so they could fix all their ish. Totally agree with you. Grifton Spade says they have investigators to investigate themselves and find that they did nothing wrong. That's why there should be an independent investigation. Pierce said Jay Bird, but that was not an illegal act. Thank you very much, Pierre. Thank you. Morgan says these ICE agents are full of ish. Ugh, I just can't. Totally agree with you, Morgan. Bovino lies, of course. Love that, Jay. Thank you. DB Stuff said he's already said lies about what happened before people's eyes told them what happened. Ridiculous. Ed Penn said he's okay. We cannot say that word on YouTube. We cannot say that. Who is Kash Patel looking at? It's kind of funny. Tamar, sorry, I'm dyslexic and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Is it legal to carry? Yes. Would I be out in the streets if somebody else's immigration problem? No. It's like two gangs meeting up. What? Yo, thank you for your comment, but that makes no sense. So it's legal to carry, yes, but I wouldn't be out in the streets if somebody else's immigration problem. Would I be out in the streets if someone's immigration problem? That's the beauty of what is going on in Minnesota right now. That's what you're missing the point, and I respect your opinion. And if you wouldn't be out in the street, that's fine. But that's what's beautiful. There are Americans like Alex who are going out into the streets because they are protesting for the people who ICE is unjustifiably arresting, badgering, pushing around. They're fighting up for the people that can't speak up for themselves. That's the beauty in all of this, Renee is the same way. She's an American citizen. She's fighting for her neighbors. She's fighting for the person that she works with. She's fighting for the person down the street. That's the beauty. That's why I said this last post I just made before I started. I said, yo, I love every state in the United States of America. But right now, Minnesotans have my heart because they're coming together as one and not just saying, well, this is not my problem. It's not my problem. That's showing your character. And that's fine. You could do that. But you're going to knock somebody for wanting to do something for their fellow person? That's crazy work, man. I admire that. Somebody says he's the BS king. That's probably talking about Pavino. By the way, I'm really thankful for all the new people in the comment section. Brooke said, you play stupid games, you win super prizes. Totally disagree with you. This is Robert. Robert, what up? What up, Trent? Many blessings, fam. Stay safe and stay blessed to all the letters. What up, Robert? Stacy said, exactly. Somebody said that I was wrong. I respect that. Paul said, locked and loaded. I'm going shopping. Somebody said, not at all. How can anyone justify this unaliving? Totally agree with you. Brooke said, have an ICE day. Clever. Mercy says, another ICE agent in the U.S. How awful. And he was also an American citizen. He was not threatening anybody. Now they are trying to cover it up. Outrageous. Totally agree with you, Mystery. Something here. Somebody said here, you can't carry anywhere though, but you can carry in the streets. So like where Alex was. Another person says schools are gun-free zone. Well, they were not in a school, but thank you for clarifying that for us. Ian said, attacking a law enforcement officer while carrying a gun is a felony. He did not attack the officer. I understand that Greg and Christy Nome and Cash Patel told you that, but he did not attack an officer. He did not. He had his hands up. He had his thing. Even the journalist, the interviewer on Fox said he did not. He was not aggressive. He was at no time was he aggressive with an officer. Okay, and if that is the case, you arrest him. You put him in jail. You bring him in front of a judge. You tell him what his charges are. You either keep him in jail or you put him out. He has to come back to court. He's tried by a judge or a jury, and then he's found guilty or not guilty. This is crazy. Mumbo jumbo talk. Thank you very much. Pierre said, we want normal people on ICE, normal procedures. So ICE go this Gestapo. That's why they're protesting. Totally agree with you, Pierre. And thank you for joining. Ian Massey said, God bless the men and women of ICE and protect them from these people. Hey, that's your opinion. Trump will pardon him if ever charged. 3 more years, guys. The new bomber-free America begins. Don't get it twisted because this could be state charges and then Trump can't do nothing. So don't count your chickens before they're hatched. But thank you for commenting, okay? Somebody said he doesn't attack anybody, a bunch of bootlickers in these comments. I don't know who you're talking to there. Leap said, protesters non-stop like children when they don't get their way. Black said, what was the kid's name who was at the protest that unalived 2 people with that other thing? Yes, Cal Rittenhouse. How come he showed up? How come he was allowed to show up, but Alex is not? Another person said here, I personally think it was an accidental discharge, but he's not man enough to say it. How could you think that was an accidental discharge? An accidental discharge like 4 or 5 times? Are you crazy? Are you nuts? Come on. Thank you for your comment, but stop it. They shot in the back as well. Highly cowardice in ISIS nature. Shadow said he did not attack anybody. Thank you. He was trying to help the lady up that they pushed down. Totally agree. Joe said there is a new video where Petty reached for and pulled a magazine that could have been mistaken for a gun, possibly. But bottom line, he shouldn't have been there. First of all, that is not true. Unless that video literally came out an hour ago, I have seen every single video. I have watched Fox and I've watched CNN. That is not true. Do not come around here with that, please. And why should he have not been there? I don't understand how you patriots, Republicans, ICE supporters, all of this, and you do not support the right of free speech. That is crazy to me, man. That is just crazy. It really drives me nuts. Nolan said, again, videos do not lie. Great footage. Thank you, Nolan. Katie said, I pray that truth like oil will rise to the surface. Love that, Katie. Sean Miller said they should be ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves. Why? Okay. You MAGA. Okay. What up, Mars? Mars says they saying the same speech in mediocrity at its finest. Totally agree. Leap says go home, let ICE do its job, and you won't get shot. Okay, well, so now we're not allowed to be Americans. We're not allowed to protest. We're not allowed to have the right for free speech. That is so horrible for you to say that, man. If you're an American and say that, you should lose your right to be an American. That's crazy. That is literally the first act in the Constitution. It's crazy. Silver lining is when you F around and find out. It's really sad, but okay. The fact individual citizens think they are bigger than the program, don't get into trouble that could lead to unaliving on account of wrong information. Look, I respect your comment and thank you for it, but I couldn't disagree with you more. Trump is not backtracking at all. Oh, yes, he is. Because when Renee was unalived, he sent, what was it, 1,500 more troops there? And he said he's not stopping. And now he's on the fact that he's on the phone with Tim Walz. Are you joking? And he literally said, you know, I wasn't going to even talk about it, but I will just literally show you what I'll read to you what he wrote. Donald Trump says Tim Walz called him to request that they work together to find a solution. Governor Tim Walz called me with the request to work together with respect to Minnesota. It was a very nice call, and we actually seem to be on a similar wavelength. I told Governor Walz that I would have Tom Homan call him, and that what we are looking for are all criminals that they have in their position. The governor very respectfully understood that, and I will be speaking to him in the near future. He was happy that Tom Homan was going to Minnesota, and so am I. We had such a tremendous succession in Washington, D.C., Memphis, Tennessee, New Orleans, Louisiana, and virtually every other place that we touch, and even Minnesota. Crime is way down. Both Governor Walz and I want to make it better. President Donald J. Trump. Okay, that's the official statement from Trump. Okay. That's Trump backing down, all right? I don't know what you're talking about. Sean Miller said, I don't think you understand insider trading. Oh, I think I understand insider trading very well, okay? And Trump definitely manipulates the market. He's made $1.4 billion in the past year. Shadow said, when the Democrats get back in power, these people will be arrested. Hopefully they can get arrested before that. Trump is setting us up. Sean says they weren't innocent. Sam said ICE is scared of coming to Philly. I don't know. I think we're going to see a really big change in ICE. That's just my personal opinion. Paul says slight back step, then full speed ahead. I can see they have the bloodlust now. We shall see. Sam says every American has the right to carry unless convicted of a felony. He was unalived. The lady in the car, now she FAMO. Pierce says ICE Estapo, shameful. You have all family members that fought in Europe. You are citing those people. Okay. Felicia said, happy Monday, Out Louders. Happy we're back, and safe Trent. How was your weekend with the cold? What up, Felicia? My weekend was amazing. I was able to go out on Friday, have a fun night, and then I relaxed on Saturday. I watched Sinners. I fell asleep and then had to finish it yesterday. And then I watched football on Sunday. Sunday, I had my father and a couple of family members came over. I had an excellent weekend. I hope you had a great weekend as well. Sean Miller said, citing to their, okay, no, say that. Shadow, nobody should justify unaliving like that. Totally agree. Sam said, no justification. The man was clearly unalived. Thank you for saying that, Sam. Drippy said, if you want to challenge authority, where is the protest at the IRS buildings? keep being lost in a fight. All right, whatever. But thank you for your comment. Okay, I'm not going to read that one. Pierre, I don't think you understand critical thinking skills because something ICE and the SS. Richard said, when I heard the other shooting over the weekend, I thought to myself, no way. I know. I was shocked. I was sleeping. I'm sleeping in. I'm just like here chilling. And I was like, looked at my phone. I'm like, I cannot believe this. Like I was literally in shock. Min and Jay says, when you make the choice to go to a heated situation well armed, then make the choice to stand in front of people. Bad things can happen. I completely disagree with you. Sean Miller, it is an absolute clown show. Somebody said, thank you. Airhead mouthpiece for a ruthless something. Somebody said, you're dreaming. Boy, you capping. All right. Blessings, Trent, and the Outlouders. Thank you. What up? Oh, we came to an end already. Bam. Wow, that was quick. Did I miss anything? Hold on, I feel like I skipped. Well, I 100% skipped. I knew there's no way. Like I'm all crystal stuff. Hold on. I think I pressed the button and I accidentally skipped too quickly. Yeah, I went all the way to the end. Sorry, hold on a second. Hold on. Going back up here. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, blessing Trent and the Outlouders. Here we go. Okay. Yay. Yeah, they lost the NRA already. It's over for the Trump regime. Totally agree. That's why I put that in the title. Drippy says they are ways for gun owners need to talk to law enforcement. They tell you, they train you on this side. By not following directions, you are in breach of the law, plain and simple. Peter said, you don't enter these situations with firearms, but you got your clickbait. What are you talking about? What I don't understand. What situations are called for a gun and which situations are not? I really don't understand. What is the right to bear arms if you cannot bring it into certain situations that you deem okay? Like somebody said, the Constitution will say you have a right to bear arms except for certain buildings, government buildings, schools, etc. You're in the street. That is the reason why you have the right to bear arms, to protect yourself. Wouldn't you go to a protest with that? That's the whole point. It's crazy to me. Ignore chat as much as you can. Egg. Okay. God bless ICE. Paris said the whole FNUS is running around with guns and he may not. Exactly. I just don't understand. Trump is the one who directed his. Okay. Emily says, my heart is heavy. Lies on top of lies. Totally agree. Vanessa says, yep, that has been going on. They see a gun. Okay. Who is the tyrant? He's a clue. Paid protectors. All right. No state or federal law enforcement policies have jurisdiction over my and your constitutional right. If law enforcement tells you you have to do with your firearm, they can kick rocks. I think I agree with that. I think we're saying the same thing. Let's go from Minnesota is stealing billions. What's your point? Sounds like the U.S. citizens need to hold on to their guns to defend themselves against those fools in the streets. That's mystery. Somebody said, just subscribe. Thank you very much. I think it's Lionel. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry, but thank you for subscribing. Hey, Crystal. What up, Crystal? He was legally carrying and never once even tried to reach for his gun. He was peacefully protesting. Come on, Crystal. Tell him. Breaking news, walls folded today. Keep it up. Okay, it sounds like Trump is folded, but whatever. Crystal says, and the only reason he interacted with ICE was because ICE was assaulting 2 women and he was helping them off of the ground after ICE pushed him down. Exactly. That's what I saw. Mars says, we love you, Minnesota, all the way. DJ says, you could say that, but who paid the price? Unfortunately, yes. Daniel says, if you're legal, you can't demand you be allowed to break the law. I don't even understand what that means. The other person says, what is FAMO? I have been seeing this a lot. Well, I can't say it on Facebook. I can't say it on YouTube, but Google it. This guy is I voted for exactly what's going on. Hey, if that's what you voted for, then hey, you have the right to your own opinion. You have the right to your own vote. But that is not America, and that is not the Constitution. And that's something that you should not vote for. Just my opinion. Bear said the second is especially for the fascist administration. That person said George Floyd beat and robbed. Okay, we're not going to say that. 29 immigrants committed crimes in 2025. What is your point, Chrissy? What is your point to that? Somebody said go Trump. Paul said, hey, y'all. Now, no, MAGA. Okay, I don't know what that is. That person said, the constitutional right are for everyone. Whether you are a criminal or a law-abiding citizen, constitutional still applies. Woo, love that. Thank you. Totally agree. Daniel says, Alex dude brought a gun and was blocking traffic and looking for trouble. What? He was in the street. What traffic was he blocking? What was Alex Pretti doing that was illegal? That's what I would like to know, please. Robert says, ICE wants to take away our rights and guns. Why do the radical right Republicans hate America? Wants to take away our right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I was about to say something, but yes, I agree with you. Crystal says, other than him helping these women, he wasn't doing any other thing other than recording, staying out of the way, and waving traffic. Kind of sounds like Renee Good waving traffic. I agree with you, Crystal. How many guns do we have to wait for somebody to pull out before being able to defend ourselves? Who pulled out the gun? The police pulled out Alex's gun, and then the other police officer, well, not, I shouldn't even call them police officers. One ICE officer pulled out his gun, and then the other one pulled out his gun. What are you guys talking about? This is starting to make me upset now. But thank you for your comments, though. I love it. I like the back and forth. I just think you guys are crazy. Daniel says, Pear says, Daniel, you really don't watch the video very good, didn't you? Oh, you didn't watch the video very good, did you? Ed says, sure. He just happened to be by the donut shop right at the same time agents were going to make the arrest. Okay. Tim Walz called and kissed Trump's butt today. All right. Then she says, I take my hat off to the Minnesotans to protest under the circumstances and especially in the freezing cold. Yo, take my hat off for sure, man. Yo, Minnesotans, they don't play around, man. Bud Russell, I hope he didn't give Trump those voter rolls. No. He did not do that. Chrissy said, if a gun wasn't brandished, you don't get to defend yourself, period. Constitutional right to have a gun. Thank you. Cream Puff said, why everybody? I don't even know what that means. Bud Russell said, Tim Walz called Trump and said that he will work with ICE. Not what he said, but okay. Strew, Mr. West, he'll say anything right now. All right. So you guys are not believing him either. Thought he said he was a genius. Now he has brain damage. Well, it's not brain damage, but okay. This gentleman is shameful. Gaslighting, mental health, shameful. I hope you're talking about Kanye. I support Ye. He is still a child of God. Pierce says, it starts when ICE went Gestapo. That is unacceptable. And everybody that goes protesting has the right there. He goes to Walmart, leaving the weapons at home. Crystal said, so does Kanye's injury only act up when he needs publicity? Exactly. That's what I can't stand. Paul says PTSD is real, having various manifestations. Hey, MAGA, who of you get to Walmart? Who of you goes to Walmart leaving your gun at home? Who? Wow, I love that one, Pear. Love that. Crystal said, thank you, Trent, for honestly talking about and supporting mental health. And thank you for promoting and speaking mental health. You're an amazing person. Thank you, Crystal. Appreciate that very, very, very much. And of course, no problem. Sorry, I cannot pronounce his name, but why can't you just let him be if he wants to apologize? If he doesn't, just let him be. He can apologize all he wants. I just don't believe the apology. Like I said, it's probably an unpopular opinion. I read comments. A lot of people are forgiving him. When somebody apologizes, it's up to me as an individual to accept the apology or not. And me as a Black person who suffers from bipolar, who understands bipolar, I am not ready to accept this apology. And nobody can tell me that I have to. Crystal said, hit that like button. Another person said, forgive and forget. Let that your heart be troubled. Talk kind about people. Kanye, always number one. Hey, respect your opinion. The new US version is being managed by MAGA, so I won't trust it. Oh, this is Mars. What up, Mars? They'll have ice on their ice on their spying people soon. You watch. Way Brenda says she was part of the Canadian organization targeting ICE. I don't know who you're talking about there. Morgan says Kanye must be dropping something since he's using mental health issues as a crutch. Again, shame on him. Totally agree. You tell me and the Outsiders are always agreeing. I agree with you, Trent, on Kanye. Thank you very much, Alaska. Nolan says, back at you, Kanye. Crystal says, I hear you, Mars. Alaska says, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Hey, I want to come down to Baton Rouge. Emma says, hey, Crystal, I'm a huge mental health advocate. I have respect for those like myself that work through the struggles of mental health every day. Mental illness is not used to garner sympathy. Exactly. Nor is it an excuse. Morgan said, Trent, we love when you advocate for mental health people. Thank you, Morgan. Flesh says, laugh out loud. It's hard when you have to say not fragile, not crazy. I don't know what that means. Crystal said, facts, Trent. Dark pain experience changes a person, and unfortunately, it takes a person hitting rock bottom to make the choices to change. Whether hitting rock bottom to each individual, totally agree. Don't cry, somebody said. You are a real man with Tim. Okay. Mystery says, men can pick themselves up from rock bottom and build themselves back up. Are men to be admired? Totally agree. Mystery, thank you for saying that. Kanye is exhausting. If he's really sick, he gets a bly, but I'm not convinced, so I'm not a fan. Morgan said, also, people you are following on TikTok, you have to re-click the plus and follow. I had to refollow several people today on TikTok, at least like 10 of them. Wow, that's crazy. Thank you for that update, Morgan. Rosa says, yes, I have always tried to stick by my man when they are going through it, but unfortunately the ones who have a good heart worth sticking by push me out to protect me. Sorry that you had to go through that, Crystal. Telling me I'm too good for them. That's a whole other conversation for another day, but sorry that I had to go through that. Mystery says, hey, Trent, I've got company on the stream tonight, so I'm not lonely. Hey, we got 2 people on Twitch. Kanye got blackballed by his own people by speaking his mind. The problem is we as Black people don't stick together. What? This guy disrespected Black people. Are you kidding me? He hired racist people. Nick Fuentes. What's the other guy there? I forget his name. Lobo? No, not Lobo. Anyways, he hired some very racist people. Hello, Trent, streaming from on Twitch. Wow, we got more people on Twitch. From Wilson, North Carolina. North Carolina, come on and raise up. DJ and Tasha are from there. M said, hey, Mars, I totally agree about Kanye. If he's having an episode, I wish him well. If this is not true, I'm over it. Totally agree. We shall see. ICE is doing okay, this is not even funny. Morgan says, I think most of us would forgive Kanye West if we got the back through the wire Kanye West. Wishful thinking. We shall see. We'll see. Leaf said the protests are causing these problems. How could you say that, man? That's just crazy. Deport the effing illegals. I'm sending prayers out to everybody affected. Thank you, Zorro. Justin says, somebody said, hey, Trent, thank you. The geo photographer, I think that name is. Chris said, Trent, you are the ideal man, and unfortunately, not too many good ones come out there. But even if there are a lot out there, you would still be a blessing to many women. Lucky to have you. Oh, thank you, Crystal. Oh, I was gonna do my air horn. I don't have it in my kitchen. Thank you, Crystal. That's a really, really nice comment. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Tia said, hi, I'm from Philadelphia. To me, we're heading towards a real life purge. Please, people, wake up and start. We're into some bad times, but maybe Donald Trump might be reversing course. We'll see. Mr. Kingster says, if you are afraid, do not be a police, although these people aren't real police. It requires training. I really like that comment. Thank you. Thank you. Just a white boy says the proof is not in your ASS, so take your head out to your ASS. Okay. Illegals don't have due process. Alex was an American citizen. We're not talking about immigration. Why do you guys do that? And I appreciate your comments, and I just like the discussion. But why, when we're talking about an American citizen that had the right to carry and a right to protest and a right to yell, why are you talking about illegals and having due process? That is so ignorant of you. Come to the discussion, discussing the topic. We don't need to hear all this other mumbo jumbo. We know that. Alex Pretti was not an illegal immigrant. Jeez. Mr. Kinger said, so they're sending the guy to Minnesota that took $50,000 bribe. Meat Pilot said, crazy how MAGA is now saying citizens shouldn't legal carry guns and protest them to forget January the 6th. Yeah, it just makes no sense. Donald said facts. Somebody said, hey. Alicia said, Trump literally said he will be prejudiced towards everything, and people just act like this is such a whatever when you knew what the F. I just said Trump is the You can't say no. Okay, sorry, I cannot read that, Ashley. Too many F-bombs in there. If you're going to deport people, you can deport. I don't want to say that. Mark, someone's going to click it up and it sounds like I said it. Mark says, honestly, though, we have to stop making everything political. ICE is unaliving people and it has to stop now. Totally agree, Mars. Mars said, hey, T. Morgan said, too many weirdos in the comments. You know what? Honestly, like, I'm happy that there's people in the comments that are giving us both sides. Like, you guys know I want an open discussion. Of course, I love the out louders and we always agree. I think it is nice and it's refreshing to have different people in the comment section. We need to welcome that. It can't just be always one-sided. So I'm happy they're in there. I just don't like when they're like, let's not be rude to each other, but I'm really open for the discussion. Crystal said she agrees. Mars, Ashley said, I can walk around freely and not being something upon about the police. That's what that means. Okay. Mars says, ICE is not getting criminals because if they were, they wouldn't be unalived. They wouldn't whistle in their faces. Totally agree, Mars. Ashley said, F-A-F-O. The F around is for, okay. Thank you, Ashley. Irvin Williams said, we are defending the rights of the Iranian people so much, so we threaten war. Oh, so we threaten war, but we can't protest in our own country. Really, really strong point, Irvin. I love that. We are defending the rights of Iranian people so much so that we are threatening war, but we cannot protest in our own country. Love that. Morgan said, Trent out here giving us the exclu while these folks out here still the Lulu. Oh, Morgan should have been a rapper. I like that, Morgan. Ashley said, yeah, people are making up stuff as they go along. They not even getting the whole story. Tez says, some of these comments make me want to drink. What up, Tez? Katie said, the ICE officers are living and reenacting the Wild Wild West movies. Facts. Laugh out loud, Tez. I agree. Yes, M. Thank you so much. Crystal said, great show again today, Trent. Thank you. Hey, out louders. Love you all, even if we don't agree. Thanks for supporting my amazing friend. Thanks, Mars. Crystal says, Mars, we are lucky to have your amazing friend to support. Thanks, Crystal. And the last one before I go to my sign out, but I'll be back to see if there's anything left, is Tia. Hey again, Trent. Tia from Philadelphia. What up, Philly in the house? You know, my cousin lives out there. I got fam in Philly. What up? Those are praying hands for everybody who lost life from nonsense. Love that. I'm actually going to leave that comment up as I go to my goodbyes. I will come back for the last comments, but let me just do my little sign off. You guys can get some last minute comments in there. Thank you, guys. Really good show. Like I said, I think since we've been doing our lives, I think this was the most people we had on our lives and the most diverse people in the comment section, except for a couple of rude things that I couldn't read. We like that. We want the diversification. I want the right. I want the left. I want the independent to have a discussion. It makes for a good show. So thank you very much. And of course, thanks to the Out Louders, and a special thanks to Crystal. I feel that comment was really nice. Thank you, Crystal. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you. Okay. 3 things I want to remind you guys before I sign off. One, please, while we're on air, if you want to give back to the show, give us a super chat. And once we go offline and post this video, please give us a super thanks. All right. Also, do not forget to sign up for the Out Loud membership. If you're on YouTube, you'll see the join button above me, or you might see a membership tab somewhere there. Sign up and be an official Out Louder today. You get a little badge beside your name, and when in our comment section, I know who the Out Louders are. So sign up today, all right? And you're also giving back to your favorite YouTube host. And also, lastly, just want to remind you to sign up for Aura. Anything you do online, it's very dangerous. There's so many things going on out right now. I heard people are like stealing people's mortgages and taking out new mortgages and homes. I just literally saw that on Fox like this morning. It's crazy out here. Aura could get rid of all of your information that's on the dark web. No crazy text messages, phone calls, and they'll do it all for free. First link below, okay? Also, before I let you guys go, I just want to remind you of 3 ways to keep up with the Trent Out Loud show. For those of you who like to listen to shows like this, we're available on all podcast platforms. Just go to any pod site, type in Trent Out Loud, the show pop up. Do not forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And we upload daily, 5 days a week. Now, the second way to keep up with the show is through video. If you guys are like me, I love watching video. I need to see my shows. So for those of you who like video, head on over to YouTube, type in Trent Out Loud. 6 things I'm going to need you to do over on YouTube. Yes, I know, but I'm working hard, so give back, okay? The first thing is hit that subscribe button, then hit that like button, get the algorithming. Third thing, thank you so much. Today we had the most comments ever, so thank you so much. I love all the live comments, but please do not forget to comment underneath the video after. Not only does it help the algorithm, but it helps the people who didn't catch us on live to continue in the conversation. And you all know my platform is all about having conversation, so please try to comment below. Now, for those of you who do not want to join in on the conversation, please, I do not want you to feel any pressure. But what you can comment is the country or city that you're watching from. Every night before I go to bed, it's my thing. I look at all the comments. And one of my favorite things to see is how global the show is. So you do not have to join in on the conversation, but at least please let me know where you are watching from, okay? Now, fourth thing, I mentioned this just 2 seconds ago. If you are really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones, and try to find like-minded people like you, whether you're on the right, whether you're on the left or the center. Anybody who is open to having discussions and coming into forums with this, please share this channel. We are in here for the long haul. We are new media. I want to be doing this 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now. So please help us build a community and grow this channel. 5, sign up for the LM membership. And 6, do not forget super chat or super thanks. Now, the third way, which is new for 2026, is we are streaming live, okay? So weekdays around 5:30, we will be streaming live. You can catch us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. On YouTube, we stream in 2 different formats. You can either watch the mobile format. You'll see a little logo or an M in brackets. That means mobile. So if you're on your phone or if you're on a tablet, you can watch this on mobile. But there's also the normal way, and you could watch that on your TV and on your laptop, whatever format you want. Okay, but we'll be streaming live, and we also post the video after in both formats. We're also streaming live on Twitch, also streaming live on Instagram, and also on Kick. So help us build up those platforms as well. Make sure you catch us live. Very, very interactive, as you can see from today. All right. So that is it. The Trent Out Loud Show is on podcast platforms, on YouTube, and on streaming platforms. All right. Now, before I let you go, I already said that. Now, for those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms, and it's always the same handle, Trent Out Loud, whether it be Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter, etc. I'm available on all of them. I'm the most active on Instagram, and like I said, they're all Trent Out Loud. Now, I would really, really appreciate if you guys would follow me on the Trent Out Loud show. I'm very active on that show, and the reason why I like it is that I can come on there unabated. It's literally just throughout the day, whenever the news is breaking, whether it be in the morning, lunch, right before the show or after the show, and especially on the weekends when we're not doing a show, okay? So it's kind of like Trent after the show. And what I like about it is that it's not rehearsed, it's not organized, and it's quick takes. It's 15, 20 seconds of what my take is, and then I could play the video for you. So the Alex Pretti, I played 2 or 3 different versions. The Fox News, Kirsty Nome, Caroline Levitz. I'm able to get in touch with you, and you don't have to just wait for these live shows. So please, please, please follow me on YouTube. I'm working very, very hard on that platform. So please support over there, The Trent Out Loud Show on Instagram. All right. Okay. One more time, round of applause. What round of applause are for you guys, huh? Don't forget. All right. Let me sign out right now. I got 5 new comments, and then we're out of here. Star Transport, I think, says Trent, you're still, hold on. Trent, you're still sexy even though we don't agree. You don't agree with my comment on Kanye. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And like I said, this whole point is for us to disagree. And I just want to reiterate, I hope you're right on Kanye. Okay. Right now, as a mental health advocate and as somebody who's bipolar, I don't accept it, but I hope I am wrong because I want him to be an advocate. I want him to be talking about bipolar. I want him to help normalize mental health because right now it looks like he's using mental health and people are only just going to think, oh, people that have bipolar and people that have mental health wild out and do stuff. And that's not what bipolar is. And that's not what mental health is about. Mental health is about getting the work and doing the work to maintain and manage your mental health. That's what mental health is all about. All of us have some sort of mental health issue. Every single human. It's like going to the doctor. You do a checkup once a year. You have high blood pressure. You have this, or you have cholesterol. You have that. Every single person does. Some people get diagnosed with anxiety. Some people get diagnosed with depression. Some people with bipolar, etc. It's all about understanding and managing it. Kanye West is making it look like it's just one thing and not the whole thing. I want him to get better if he is sick. And then I want him to come out and do talks and normalize mental health. So please trust me. I hope that you're right. Okay. Mystery said, good night, Trent and the Out Louders. Good night, Mystery. Morgan says, all I can say is... Thank you, Morgan. Crystal said, of course, Trent, I got you. Glad to lift your spirits, like you lift ours up, and so happy I could make you smile. That beautiful smile. Thank you, Crystal. You are such a beautiful person inside and out. Oh, Crystal, I love you. Crystal says, shout out to your mom. What up? Shout out, moms. You know, moms watches every single show. So shout out to Mama out loud. You know what? That's the best way. The last comment that came in, Mama out loud. Mama, I love you. My mom doesn't love when I talk about like mental health and bipolar, but I think she's like starting to understand now that it's a little bit more acceptable. When I was writing my book, she's like, oh, don't tell people that. But as she could see, things are changing and she sees that I'm an advocate about it, I think she's a little bit more easy about it, right? Right, Ma? Love you. All right, I'm out, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, stay tuned tomorrow. The rest of the week, as always, here around 5 o'clock. I love y'all. Peace. Bye, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.